Hello, welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble. This is open mic night, and we're going to start off talking about WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Give like a little quick review of what happened on this week's episode. So we'll go ahead and start it off. We started with Solo Sikoa and his MFTs in the parking lot, and there was like a car accident or something, right? And we see, what was it, Tongaloa?
One of the Tongans.
Right, I think it was Tongaloa. He was like, he had like, little blood from his head. And they had Adam Pearce out there. Yeah, and eventually Cody Rhodes walks up and asks Adam Pearce about the SummerSlam contract signing. Pearce tells Cody that he'll see him out there. Yeah. One thing of note here, Cody didn't seem to care anything about whatever happened with that car accident.
Nope.
Who was involved, what happened, how they were doing, whatever. You know, this guy's supposed to be like a purebred babyface. I ain't see it. What'd you think about that first segment starting off SmackDown?
Cody did not give a darn what was going on behind the scene. First, I was a little confused why Adam Pearce is on SmackDown. I don't know if Nick Aldis is on vacation or anything, but what really took me is when Cody just appeared out of nowhere with the contract and like, everything's in there? Okay, good. Didn't even ask, is everybody okay or anything? I get that Solo and everyone is here, but you see the Street Profits also looks like they was part of the car accident. So it's like, bruh, are you even concerned, or you just more focused on the belt? So I don't know if this is the start of Cody not giving a crap about anybody anymore. Because remember, his biggest thing of why he lost the title is because he was too caring, like always putting everybody else first. And now he's starting to be a little vicious, which we'll talk more about that later on throughout the show. But of course, that was a funny segment. Another segment to me that didn't make any sense is we're on backstage now with Charlotte Flair. But before Charlotte Flair shows up, we have Alexa Bliss talking to herself with the Lily doll. Look, I don't know if Alexa is trying to go crazy, or is Lily supposed to be her imaginary friend. Hey, not even Charlotte knows, but at this point, Charlotte is just trying to have fun, is apparently what she's trying to do. I don't know if their tag team is called We Are Not Friends, but out of nowhere, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss have a tag team title championship match against the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam. Excuse me.
It's like, timeout, bruh. Y'all literally just lost at Evolution. Okay? And y'all get another title shot?
Well, their whole argument is they didn't get pinned, so technically they didn't lose the match.
I don't care if you didn't get pinned or whatever. End of the day, you lost. Take the L and move on. Do we have any other women's tag?
It's just crazy how you can lose and still be number one contender.
My point is,
like, without winning anything.
Like, I was already annoyed on Monday night when the Kabuki Warriors was going against Raquel and Roxanne Perez. It's like, y'all already lost at Evolution. Did anybody watch Evolution? Anybody? Or was it just us? Like, was it? I'm pretty sure it was a fatal four-way. Whatever. But now they have a tag team match at SummerSlam. And to make it even better, they are going to be fighting each other tonight, which is actually the next first match and the next thing that happened. We have Charlotte Flair with Alexa Bliss versus Raquel Rodriguez with Roxanne Perez. Alexa Bliss was just there to be Charlotte Flair little cheerleader.
Just a rematch. That's pretty much all this was. This was a rematch minus the tag team aspect of it, because you still had Roxanne Perez on the outside, you had Alexa Bliss on the outside, and you guessed it, both were kind of getting mixed into the match, interfering behind the ref's back, etc. Except it seemed like Alexa Bliss got the best of the interference part, where the ref was distracted, I think by Roxanne or something, and then Alexa Bliss ends up attacking Raquel Rodriguez behind the ref's back. Charlotte Flair does like a roll up or something.
Yeah, like a little weird kind of roll up, basically.
And that ends the match. 1, 2, 3.
Moving
Charlotte and Alexa continue to be like reluctant partners, because like Charlotte exits the ring and she goes to hug Alexa Bliss or whatever. Do the little heart thing. And of course, their whole thing is, we're not friends though. No.
It's like, is that your tag team name? We're not friends?
Who knows? I mean, I don't think they're actually going to ever come up with a tag team name. They're just going to be Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. But, obviously, they're probably going to end up winning the tag team titles. And then they're going to eventually break up. And they're going to feud against each other. Oh, my gosh. Didn't see that coming. Like, this is like the simplest storytelling, and I don't know. Maybe people are interested.
I believe this whole thing is just so Charlotte can just be a babyface. It's like, listen, Charlotte is not a babyface, okay? She is more of a heel. She is a 14-time women's champion. Right now, this is just for her to be in a different storyline after losing to WrestleMania, and they're just going to see what's going to happen from there. Obviously, Alexa is over. Regardless what people think of her, yes, she's not really championship material. Look at the women's roster now. We have too many big women. Can you see Alexa beating any of them? No. So, moving on from that, we have the police officers looking for Jacob Fatu. And this segment made no goddamn sense whatsoever. So they went up to Adam Pearce and they said they're looking for Jacob Fatu.
Look, this is how the segment went.
Look around the corner.
This is how the segment went. Okay. Terrible acting from the police officer.
Oh my gosh. It's
just overacting.
It's like they wasn't trying to laugh the whole time.
Hey, we're here to see Jacob Fatu. Do you know where he is? Jacob Fatu? This is Adam Pearce. Sure. Come this way. Turn to your right. There's Jacob Fatu.
Just chilling.
Oh my god, like, it's not like they couldn't see him once they walked up to Adam Pearce. It was just right there. So they walk a couple steps over. There's Jacob Fatu. Hey Jacob, these police officers would like to ask you a few questions. Man, I ain't talking to no police officers. Not what I mean.
You know, his usual.
And he's like, well, they need to ask you a few questions about the situation. We don't want to make this worse. And Jacob obviously walks off with the police officers and proceeds to snitch. No, no, I mean, it was like, that was the segment. Yeah. So
another segment we did not care about was Damon Priest is looking for Aleister Black after Aleister Black gave him the beatdown of last week. And guess who he ran into? Oh my gosh, Carmelo Hayes, who proceeded to not get any type of push or storyline. Like, I get he's not getting a big crowd reaction, but that's Triple H's goddamn fault.
The burial of Carmelo Hayes continues.
Will push him the proper way as a heel. Like, for example, Damian Priest, they're treating Carmelo Hayes like he's some idiot. NXT, he was on top of the pedestal. He was NXT North American champion. He was the NXT champion. You know, he's trying to get
the greatest NXT North American champion.
Saying, like, what are we doing here? Waste of talent.
This dude carried NXT the entire time he was there, whether he was champ or not, really. And even when Braun Breaker was champ, it was still Melo.
Yeah, most definitely.
And then it was Trick Mello. And that
Mello
really carried NXT. I mean, that was like every time they were on the screen, that was must watch. So when people are talking about, yo, Mello deserves better, yeah, because this guy is like very entertaining. He's honestly, if you're not familiar with Carmelo Hayes, he's basically nerfed right now on the main roster. Mm-hmm. This dude is like way better than he lets on as far as the mic skills, in ring, etc. Like this dude, he's like he's the equivalent of like a modern day Black Shawn Michaels. Like with the arrogance, the way he sells and everything, the way he makes his opponents look good. Yeah, the swag, the style, like he's a modern, updated version of like Shawn Michaels, black version. But yeah, but he's him, and he's not getting the respect that he deserves on the main roster, the push, etc. Like Triple H just don't know what to do with him. Go figure, you know.
I mean, there's a shocker there. And of course, we lead on to down towards the night. Of course, we're going to get Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes, because Damian Priest feel like he needs to teach Carmelo Hayes a lesson of keeping his mouth shut.
Well, you know, it led to that because Damian was looking for Aleister Black. Well, yeah. And then he says, hey, you see Aleister Black? Carmelo's like, hell not. Like, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you anyways. And of course, you know, Damian's like, okay, talk that trash, meet me on the ring, basically. That's how that led to the match.
Look, Damian Priest is boring. I don't care what no one says.
This guy, he ain't doing nothing but walking around in the back.
Looking like I am the Punisher. No, the only thing you punishing is making us see you on TV, okay? So next segment we got, just going to speed through this because I really don't care about Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill match for SummerSlam. Yeah, both are boring. I'm sorry. Tiffany is watered down, overrated at this point. Jade Cargill, she should never been in the main roster, but because she looks the part and someone acts the part, but the ring work is not the part, she's just there. So they both came up at the same time, I guess, debuted on Royal Rumble. No one cares. Moving on from that, I mean, did you still want to talk about Tiffany and Jade Cargill?
Nope.
Ain't nobody care about them. So, of course, we get the second match, Damian Priest versus Carmelo Hayes. No one won, but Damian Priest was able to find Aleister Black, as Aleister Black did interfere in the match and pretty much knocked Damian Priest between the ropes to hurt his jewels.
All right, first of all, it was a decent match up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
Carmelo can wrestle circles around Damian Priest
all day, every day.
Yeah, breaking news. But yeah, so there wasn't a winner really. I mean, because it was like it ended in DQ. So yeah, Aleister interfered when Damian was going for old school, where he had Carmelo's arm and he's getting ready to walk the ropes from the top turnbuckle. Undertaker's old move, right? And Aleister Black basically knocks him off the ropes. Yeah, which led to the interference or the disqualification. And we proceed to see Carmelo Hayes cower away, you know, playing the cowardly heel when Aleister.
Smart way.
Well, I know everybody else looked at it as cowardly heel, but like those who know Carmelo from like NXT or whatever knows that Melo picks his shots, okay? Like, and that ain't got nothing to do with him. So why would I go in there and like, first of all, why would he stay in the ring? He ain't standing up for Damian Priest or nothing. So like, it ain't even his business. He it's not that he don't want the smoke. He ain't got nothing to do with it. Duh. Like, so I don't really see it so much as him being a coward. Nope. He's just like, that ain't my business.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Like he said from the start from Damian Priest, if I see him, I ain't gonna tell you anyway.
Exactly. Ain't got nothing to do with that.
So
yeah, I mean that's kind of like the only kind of saving grace part of this is like the fact that Carmelo Hayes was protected by the way that the match ended. So there was that. Moving on, we see a video from the Wyatt Six. Dexter Loomis says the Street Profits showed that, man, they ain't talk about nothing. They look.
Oh my god.
The Wyatt Six been cutting the same promo for about 3 weeks.
We're coming to end all your
the
division.
tag team division.
Look, the tag
blah,
team
blah, blah.
divisions died the moment you gave Wyatt Six the tag team championship belt. Okay, they're not interesting.
Look, I think
boring.
you mentioned something before about like, okay, if they have to have meaning as far as winning championships, right? It's like, are you guys trying to summon something like by collecting all the gold and almost like a sacrificial way, or like there's got to be a reason other than just to beat the tag team champion or to be on top of the tag team division? It's like, for what? Like, for what? Like, you guys came in the way they came in, right? Where they like had everybody laid out in the back and everything. You guys remember that debut when the Wyatt Six finally showed up, and you know you had Chad Gable in the back. Everybody was like, "Man, is he
right?"
You know,
right.
And no, he showed up next week and whatever. But like, point being, it's like, okay, are we gonna keep seeing the same thing from the Wyatt Six, or is there an actual direction? Because like, what are we doing with the Wyatt Six? Why should we care about the Wyatt Six? Because so far they've done nothing. Even winning the tag team championships really is nothing. Because we had tag team champions for the Street Profits. And did they ever defend on a pay-per-view?
Nope.
Okay. So what are the Wyatt Six going to do? Who are they going to feud with?
They already watered them down. They just put the belt. It's like the tag team belts don't even matter anymore.
Yeah.
They just have it to have it. At this point, it's like, if you're not really going to push a tag team division, you might as well just make one belt and just have someone float around each division. Heck, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown at this point, like you do the women's belt, because obviously no one cares about a tag team division at this point. Literally took it off the Street Profits just to put on the Wyatt Six, just so we could hear these boring behind videos from them, the same old, someone's going down, you're all going to die. Ain't nobody care. We stopped caring when they first debuted, and ever since then, we just moved on from that.
Like we're going to move on from it from now. All right, so the next segment, we have Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and Adam Pearce. We get Solo Sikoa and his MFTs come down to the ring, and Solo's kind of being a little goofy and whatnot, but at the same time, he gets serious when he cutting his promo. So he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the perfect example of who Jacob Fatu really is. Without my guidance, Jacob is reckless, okay? He doesn't care about nobody. He doesn't listen to anybody. All he cares about is himself. I gave Jacob the world, all right? I gave him everything. I brought him here to WWE. I made him successful. Basically, I gave this dude the world, and he turned his back on me, etc. And he don't actually deserve none of it.
I agree.
He should have known, once a criminal, always a criminal.
Period. And you know what? I agree with Solo. Like, when the crowd started cheering for Jacob, it's like Jacob all of a sudden just want to go babyface. Then he wants to take over, talking about he gonna bring gold to the family. It's like, bruh, no one didn't even want you, okay, until Solo brought you in. And no offense, he was more interesting when he's with Solo. Jacob Fatu by himself is just the same old, walking around with an angry looking face, gaining weight day by day, and hitting the moonsault. You might as well just stop that right now, because you just looking heavy and chubby, okay? Like Ron Killen said, y'all just all just chubby.
Yeah.
So, of course, during the segment, we got Jimmy basically waiting in the back for Jacob Fatu to get out of the police car, because the police officer with the bad acting letting us know that Jacob Fatu is cleared and he was not the man that attacked the Solo.
Yo, they pulled up. And the officer's like, "We reviewed the footage."
What footage? We ain't see the footage.
He's like, "We reviewed the footage, and basically you ain't do it. All right. And then Jimmy Uso's like outside of the police vehicle. He's like, yeah, let's go. And first of all, when does that ever happen? Like, when does that happen that quick? If they could have reviewed the footage in the first place, why take them in the first place? Okay, if you had access to the footage and you could have cleared it up from the start, why not just do that? Why not just look at the footage from the start? Yeah, okay.
That makes too much sense.
So, all right, so Jacob makes his way down to the ring and, basically chaos. Like, they do the same moves where hip attacks, a whole lot of super kicks, all right? The Young Bucks would be jealous. So you got Jacob and Jimmy hitting super kicks here, super kicks there, a super kick here, a super kick there. Hip attack, just the ugly looking Uso splash from Jimmy Uso. You got the prettiest moonsault or whatever from Jacob Fatu. This was. I didn't really care for the segment at all. Honestly, I like Solo Sikoa talking on the mic.
That's it.
And then Jimmy and Jacob Fatu come in and ruin all that because they literally do the same attack all the time. And you know what?
This segment just went from bad to worse. We get Adam Pearce coming out and basically letting us know that Solo, you want to frame a man and get Jacob locked up.
An innocent man.
Yes. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. He's an innocent man. He said, okay, let's see how you like it at SummerSlam. Look at me, Solo, because you'll be defending the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu inside a steel cage. One more thing, and then it just gets better. Gentlemen, if you will please, he's all yours. Look, Solo is a character, okay? I don't even care for Solo versus Jacob Fatu because if let's say Jacob Fatu wins the belt, what's after that?
Well, he already won the belt, and we saw that there was nothing. Really.
All he did is wore the belt around his neck like he a gangster, and proceed to not really had no storyline with no one else but with Solo. Well, at least with Solo Sikoa, with him with the belt, you can actually put him in more storylines versus with Jacob. Jacob to me is a one dimension. But when Adam Pearce was telling the cops to go say he's all yours, you have Solo basically goofing around, telling him there's Jacob Fatu and everything. Go get him. And as Solo have his hand out, the cops proceed to arrest Solo Sikoa because he was trying to frame an innocent man. Look, I ain't seen no video footage. I don't believe Solo did it.
I know. I kind of wish they would have showed it, like to add a little extra
like
touch to it and whatnot.
Naomi and Bianca trying to clear their name,
right?
And they have Nick Aldis showing the footage of Alexa Bliss and Raquel Rodriguez just walking. See, that was starting to build something, but with this one, it was just like, oh, we revealed the footage. We didn't see it.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move on past that. All right, we got a video recap of Randy Orton appearing on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jelly Roll was the host. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul crashed the interview. Randy and Drew started brawling off the stage. Logan told Jelly to stay in his lane, which led to Logan Paul being chokeslammed through a table.
Logan, before he got chokeslammed, he called Jelly a greasy, ragnet, poison rat.
Prison rat.
God dang. You ain't had to go there, Logan Paul. And that's what he got. Oh, he slapped him in the face.
Yeah, but I mean.
Logan's the heel that we need because he made things interesting. This match was short. The next one, we had Stephanie Vaquer versus Alba Fire. Who do you think won?
La Primera.
All right, so do we really need to talk about this match?
No, not at all.
Not really. So,
and hold on, one thing of note. It appears that Wade Barrett has taken the Booker T perverted announcer, as far as how they tried to make out Booker T to be, right?
Right.
Like Wade Barrett is just gooning all over Stephanie Vaquer. Okay, talking about how he's gonna watch that footage of her doing that Devil's Kiss, isn't that what it's called? Where she's like, banging their head on the mat and basically look like she's twerking. Wade Barrett's gonna review that footage all weekend.
Yeah, some things you just don't need to say.
We knew when she was gonna come to the main roster, they were gonna bastardize that move where you always gotta see it every match. They're gonna drive this junk into the ground where people get sick and tired of seeing it. They're gonna make her stale and boring because they're gonna make it seem like she's so one dimensional. Like all she's got is like, I hate when they do that. Like the main roster always makes it seem like people only have like 5-6 moves, and Stephanie is like a great technical wrestler and she's a high flyer. Okay. But they're going to try and water her down. I can already see it. They're going to try and water her down and they're going to try and market certain things about her. And that Devil's Kiss is a big one. They're going to try and market that. That's why, like, what was it? Evolution, that battle royal where she did the Devil's Kiss to Lash Legend on the apron. Okay. AAA, that tag team match she had with Lola Vice versus whoever the fuck. Lola Vice and Stephanie did the Devil's Kiss to their opponents in the middle of the ring. Okay. Like, it's just going to be something that they're going to wear out. So be prepared for that. But moving on. We get Kathy Kelly in a backstage interview with the Street Profits. And when B-Fab is with the Street Profits now.
Smart move.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she got the memo about her being with Meechin.
Bye-bye.
I hope she also got the memo of we don't want to see her wrestle in the ring anymore at all because we never wanted to, okay? So hopefully she's just a valet or whatever for the Street Profits and maybe they get back to doing whatever they were doing before they won the tag team championships because I kind of thought they were going heel or whatever at first and, then once again they watered them down. So I don't know what's going on with the Street Profits.
I don't even think the Street Profits knows what's going on with them.
Triple H don't know what's going on with the Street Profits.
Triple H not trying to like pull this card, but he ain't really don't know how to book black women. And I don't care if they trying to put the belt on Jade Cargill, she still ain't gonna be booked right. So now we have the fatal 4 for the number 1 contender for the tag team championship. Do we really have to go down the list? It's the same old people that have been wrestling for the belt.
Yeah, so we got Fraxium versus DIY with Candice LeRae, the Motor City Machine Guns versus Rey Fenix and Andrade El Idolo in a fatal 4-way match. The winners will become the number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Now,
spoiler.
Who do you think won?
It was Rey Fenix and Andrade El Idolo.
Obviously, because they're trying to push him as a tag team. Apparently, Andrade...
Because the other ones are boring.
Exactly. So I don't know if there's going to be an angle. I want to focus more on Rey Fenix and Andrade. So I don't know if the angle is for Andrade to probably turn heel on Rey Fenix. Because, Rey Fenix, he got a decent pop when he first debuted. But after that, the crowd was just bored of him. And then WWE obviously don't see him as a single push like Penta. They see him more as a tag team. And then Andrade obviously was just like getting no type of crowd reaction regardless of
at
whatever.
All.
I mean, straight crickets. And then ever since he became tag team with Rey Fenix, now the crowd is starting to react with him, get more familiar with him and everything. So I don't know if the angle is that they're going to be tag team for a very long time or just a different storyline for Andrade and Rey Fenix.
They tagging for a good time, not a long time. Honestly, they may keep them like that for a little while. You know what's crazy is remember when Andrade was coming up to Berto and like the LW, what was it? No, Legado del Fantasma. Okay, so Berto and the other guys, right? And then they just didn't do anything with it. You don't remember that? Where Andrade would come in the back and
yes,
he would talk.
Yes,
like
the other family, which we haven't seen. Well, I think they're on AAA right now.
I'm sure, but I mean, the fact is they started something and then they just completely dropped it.
He probably came
like
to
a lot of
senses
stuff
and was like, "Nah, I can't be with Andrade. Nah, bro, I'm good where I'm at." I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me because it went from there to Rey Fenix, and like I go back to saying, Rey Fenix is not really a strong single wrestler right now. Honestly, I don't think he ever will be. Because he doesn't really have he can't speak proper English, and that's really important in WWE.
I honestly think Rey Fenix's best days was probably before AEW and during AEW, and like at this point, he's just making sure he don't get injured no more, and at the same time, just stay on TV and be as relevant as possible. But yeah, I don't see him ever really getting a big push like I'm not going to say Penta's getting a push cuz I don't think he is, but Penta is flirting with the upper mid-card main event scene as well. So yeah, we'll see I mean how they end up doing with Rey Fenix. I just, they were obviously a tag team as the Lucha Bros. And I don't see Penta being a tag team anytime soon. Like, yeah, he might team up with a person here and there, but like he's not going to be stuck in a tag team because he clearly looks like the solo guy. And then Phoenix looks like you were said, that he's probably not strong, like a good talker on the mic in English or whatever. And Penta can talk.
Exactly.
Penta has like a natural charisma. He has a little aura with him, especially like with his entrance and everything with that walk. Yeah. So I mean, this tag team is actually good for Andrade because he was doing nothing. Okay, and even though he's in his tag team, he's still boring. But
period.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and let it play out.
Well, we don't have to wait too long because next week, Friday, the Wyatt Six will be putting their WWE Tag Team titles on the line against Rey Fenix and Andrade whatever. So,
now, how come Alexa Bliss and Charlotte got a match?
I'm not sure how to help you with that.
Lord, so how come?
Bliss and Charlotte.
Yeah, how come they got a title shot at SummerSlam?
Because it's Charlotte
just by asking to have a match. Okay, and then he's just like, you know what, SummerSlam, there, it's done.
Same reason.
But then Andrade and Rey Fenix just won this match versus like the rest of the tag teams in the division, minus the Street Profits. But like, they win this and then they get a match on SmackDown.
Look, what can possibly happen? And someone's probably gonna interfere in this match, and then they're probably gonna go to SummerSlam. If not, let's start off with Charlotte. Charlotte done get a title shot at SummerSlam because it's Charlotte Flair. Just like how
obviously
Trish Stratus got a title shot at Evolution and didn't have to go through no ropes. It's Trish Stratus.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, be consistent.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
but some people just gets it, just like John Cena.
It's just logic gaps that make no sense. But all right, so we get I believe this was the final segment.
Was the main event.
So John Cena and Cody Rhodes contract signing. Cody Rhodes comes out first after Adam Pearce lets everybody know this is the beginning. We're going to start the official contract signing for the undisputed WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. Please join me in welcoming the challenger, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. All right, so Cody comes out, does his whole thing.
And of course, Cody signs the contract. And after he signed the contract, he could have just signed and just be quiet. No, Cody decided he wanted to talk.
What do you want to talk about?
Not with you, bro. Like, Jesus Christ. Just sign the contract and then bring on John Cena.
You know, I think he thought he was going to get a cheap pop because he like mentions that, he appreciates the warm welcome, making him feel like a Texan. My father was a Texan. My brother is a Texan. Hint, hint. Like, All In Texas was just, was just there. And his brother, Dustin Rhodes, just won the TNT Championship in a Fatal 4-Way match. And I'm guessing he thought he was going to get like a little bit of that rub, like a little cheap pop from that. But the crowd's just like, all right, whatever. Get over with. Like,
Can we just see John Cena?
What do you want to talk about, bro? Like, so John Cena ends up coming out. Yeah. Because Cody ain't really say nothing. So John Cena's like, look, cut the music. Cody, sit down. No, give me a second, guys. All right, so John Cena proceeds to be full of crap, talking about how he's going to be shooting a movie and everything. So, yo, this match cannot happen at SummerSlam. I'm sorry, bro. You know how it goes. Hollywood, right? And John Cena's like, yo, we could just do this some other time, right?
He even brought up
the whole time, Cody is just bubbling. He's just brooding over there, just making fake. Like, he's just like, I can't believe this shit. Like, what the... You really finna do this? You really finna sit there and tell me that we're not having this match at SummerSlam after all the shit that I've been through? John Cena's just like, all right, bro. Well, I'm out then. So he proceeds to leave the ring. And Cody's like, you got to be kidding me. Cody runs out. They're in the aisleway. Turns Cena around, starts punching him, throws him back towards the ring. Puts him in the ring, so now he's wailing on Cena and everything. Eventually, he gets Cena on top of a table, the contract signing table, and he hits him with a splash through the table. So I guess Cody's doing splashes now.
I mean, that joke was so funny.
And then he forces John Cena to sign the contract. And, oh yeah, by the way, John, it's gonna be a street fight.
No pop. Not a one pop. Ain't nobody cares. It's gonna be a street fight. Like,
yo,
I feel like someone might interfere. Are we gonna get what's his name? Travis Scott? Please no. What was that? Was his name?
Yeah, but Travis Scott, all right. We'll segue into that. Travis Scott, I don't think he's affiliated with WWE any longer. Like, I believe they just completely cut ties with him. They're like, yo, the backlash we got with this guy, like, not worth it. Plus, he ain't learning nothing as far as wrestling, etc. He just, like, cannot pick it up. We're just gonna be done with this guy. So there you go. They cutting the... I can't say cutting the fat because he looks like he weighs about 30 pounds. So...
Are we going to get Cardi B interfering?
Man, I don't think Cardi B doing nothing. Because, like, you know, it's 2 weeks away. And you know how they used to do with celebrities. Like, you would already see them, just like Jelly Roll, right? You'd see them start showing up. They're just trying to insert them in these different segments to let you know she's going to be there. But her schedule probably so busy, she only got time to show up for SummerSlam. That's it.
2 nights. But, of course, that was the end of the segment. Cody with his little splash for his signature. And it's going to be a street fight. No pop. Not even a pin drop. Not even a clap. Not even a whistle. I mean, it was dead air. And they just went ahead and cut to black. That's how quiet it was. So that will conclude our SmackDown review. Do you have any more to say about it?
Nah, SmackDown sucked.
It was boring.
Surprise. 2
thumbs down. But I am happy it's 2 hours again. But I feel like I was watching SmackDown forever. And I thought it would never end. So moving on. We have a little quick. This is, again, open mic night. We just talk about fantasy booking, what has been happening this week for wrestling, and potential rumors. I will start off with, we don't really watch it, but... he's part of WWE. We hear AJ Styles will be returning to TNA on Slammiversary. I don't know how this came about. Do you?
Yeah. Trick Williams was doing an interview, and I guess they asked him a question about like TNA and him being a champion, whatever. He's basically like, I am TNA, right? And I don't know if he says something like he's the greatest champion or whatever of TNA's ever had, or he's the, you know, most important person ever come through TNA, whatever. And then I think the guy that was interviewed him saying something about like, well, I think AJ Styles would have something to say about that. Trick's like, man, AJ Styles, he don't want none, dog. And if he do, tell him come see me. Ooh. Like basically something like that. All right, so that's what's gonna happen. So AJ Styles gonna come see him.
We already know NXT been crossing paths with TNA. Now I wonder if they're gonna start making WWE wrestlers main event, like main roster. Not all of them, but certain of them crossing. But like AJ Styles, pretty much, he's just having fun.
I think he's the exception because he used to be in TNA. Okay. So there you go. But I don't clearly they don't view TNA as like a main roster worthy promotion, right? They view TNA almost on the same level as NXT. Actually, probably below NXT because you always see NXT outshining TNA, and I don't know. It's like I don't see main roster ever really mix it. Could you imagine Randy Orton appearing on TNA?
I don't think.
And then he looks over there and he sees like 40 people in the crowd,
like 20.
He's like, I hear echoes in this place.
While we're still talking echoes, JC Jane and Slamovish will be also wrestling at Slammiversary, title versus title.
Masha Slamovich. The problem is I don't see her winning. Even though she's good, she just doesn't have her look and everything, it doesn't scream face of, company, or it doesn't not for WWE, because you got to be kind of clean looking and whatnot, and Masha looked like I don't want to talk bad about her or nothing like that, because like I said, she is a good wrestler and whatnot, but when she's cutting promos or just her overall look, it's not as polished as WWE likes people to be. So if it comes down to somebody holding two titles and one of them being NXT Women's Champ or whatever, JC Jane.
Yeah.
I see JC plus the numbers game.
I mean, when Slamovish showed up on NXT, I don't even think the crowd even cared.
No,
I thought
really.
I heard some boos while she was talking. I was like, wait, are they booing Slamovish? Because she's the only one talking right now, because JC Jane doesn't stop talking. But yeah, I don't even think her mic skills is that good, but again, she is really good in the ring. And it sucks Jordan Grace did pass the torch for her to be the next for TNA, because right now they're putting Tessa Blanchard on the slow, long-term title chase right now. But I mean, I honestly can see Lash by Elegance interfering too.
Look, I was just about to say, okay, what was that? Was that TNA that was watching?
TNA,
Okay, so you had Ash by Elegance, formerly known as Dana Brooke. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't be watching TNA, but when I heard Ash by Elegance cut a promo in the ring, and she's talking about basically how it's unfair, and she won what she win, some kind of match
she won the number one contender battle royal.
Okay, she won that just same way Stephanie Vaquero won a battle royal, right, to be number one contender. We know she's going to France, etc., right, to face Tiffany Stratton. All right, so Slamovich basically does the same thing, but she's basically pushed to the end of the line. So
you mean Ash?
No, Ash, yeah. Okay, Ash does the same exact thing Stephanie Vaquer does, but she's pushed to the end of the line. She doesn't get her number one contender spot anymore, even though she won. Okay, they basically reneged on that, and she's pissed. She has every right to be. She's in the ring cutting a passionate promo, believable, okay? And I'm just like, whoa. I had a double take. I said, hey, that's Dana Brooke, right? Where was that in the WWE? See, that's why it's good to have multiple promotions, because you can go somewhere else, even though a lot of people aren't watching, right? But you can go over there and fine-tune some skills, promo skills, in-ring, etc., your look, your character, blah, 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 right? And then once you figured all that out, you could try your hand at a bigger promotion, okay? WWE, AEW, whatever. And get yourself over and make some real money. So after hearing her cut that promo, I was like, hey, Why isn't she the champ? Like, why isn't she the champ? Why isn't she actually going to compete for that title? Why aren't we getting her talking to JC Jane? Like, that would actually, I'm more interested in that. Can I please have that? Because, like, Slamovich comes out and she sounds like she were trying to remember a script. I said,
yeah, it wasn't really passionate. Her promo was
at all
awkward. And I'm like, JC Jane can roast her right now on the mic. But, and Ash by elegance too. But they both, it's like she's a champion, so it's like, it looks bad for someone who's not a champion like Ash to roast Slamovich. But it's like, when
Slamovich and TNA, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's just Slamage's fault. It's TNA.
I agree. TNA. And I will hate to say, but Shawn Michaels, if you're looking to sign her for NXT, don't do it.
To sign who? Slamovich?
Don't do it. We're just gonna get another Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace.
Well, we'll get like a work rate person. You know what I mean? Because like she's supposed to be good in the ring, right. But obviously the mic skills, the look, and all that stuff is not there. So you would just get like you get like an ugly Lyra Valkyria.
Moving on from that,
I'm just saying, like you'll get a less attractive Lyra Valkyria. That's what you'll get.
That. You know who else
that
who
can't
actually
talk.
Looks like a star is Trick Willie. He will be defending his TNT championship against Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. You know what? I hope Mike Santana wins. It's time for him to shine. Joe Hendry, when I saw him had a title for TNA, he was boring. I mean, he has the crowd behind him, but let's be honest, Mike Santana has more charisma. He has more of a storyline that you can stretch with him because he has like that baby face, but he has a baby face like not that he's not afraid to get his hands dirty either. My boy's from New York, why not? And then Trick, the only reason they put the belt on him because they wanted to get people to get more familiar with TNA and get the ratings up because Joe Hendry was not making it happen. Do you feel like Mike Santana will get the title?
Mike Santana need to get that WWE contract.
Not with Triple H.
Look, if he don't win, F the title, okay? Get the contract. Put him in NXT, sure, whatever. Because like you just hinted at, Triple H can't book himself out of a paper bag, okay? So would I trust him to handle Santana on the main roster? No, not really. He'll probably end up somehow with LWO or something. Who knows? But he'll be like, "You're Spanish, right? Oh, great! I got a plan for you."
Right. Like, which we haven't seen them on TV forever.
Yo, but Santana has that same, like he has that passion, like Ash by Elegance had when she was cutting that promo. Like they bring a certain realism with them that's appreciated, and because it's missing in wrestling, like too many people are friendly and respect each other and love each other. Like they bring like a passion for the business that is just missing. Like they get these fired up promos and stuff, like, and you believe it. You know, Santana, when he's talking, when he's telling you what he's gonna do and where he come from and stuff, you believe him. And also, you probably didn't know about this, but there's something called Subway Mania, right? And Mike Santana showed up on Subway Mania. What was it? It was like a little. It was a short video. It was like maybe 2 to 3 minutes. But like they had this guy playing Abyss, and they had Joe Hendry. Abyss is like choking out Joe Hendry and beating him with a chair or whatever, and then like Mike Santana comes in the subway, you know, and the crowd's going crazy, all the people in the subway or whatever, and then, you know, he ends up beating up Abyss and hitting him with a chair and stuff, and he's like, hey, you know, he's talking about like he repping New York, etc., and like, I mean, it was pretty good. Like I advise you guys to check that out. I want to say, I mean, you could probably just type in Mike Santana Subway Mania or something like that, and it'll pull up on YouTube. So I highly recommend that. And I like seeing stuff like that where you got these wrestlers trying to reach more people, by showing up on these different shows, kind of like how you had Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul and Randy Orton show up on Jimmy Kimmel late night. So I like seeing stuff like that. It's making wrestling a little bit more mainstream, you know, and putting them in front of people that normally wouldn't actually be watching wrestling. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So moving on past that. Let me see. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in the Judgment Day. What'd you have there for Charlotte and Alexa?
I hope Charlotte and Alexa did not win the belt. I'm sorry. Like, God. Because I really want to see what is the angle that Finn have while Liv Morgan is out. I mean, we need some type of drama. Let's say Alexa Bliss and Charlotte win, then what? Exactly. Like, what are we gonna do with them?
It's basically the same as like Lyra and Becky winning the tag team championships when Bayley, you know, was attacked by a mystery person. Becky.
Like, who didn't see that coming?
I mean, I feel like you'll get like a version of that minus the third person, you know, third person being Bayley or whatever in that situation. But I think it's going to be short lived. Like if it has to be short lived because there's no real tag team division. So maybe if anything, they'll just have the titles and we'll get like backstage stuff or I don't know, man. It's like, what are y'all? Where can you even go with that? There's not an actual tag team division.
Not unless they make
so it's like how much can you even do with it?
Well, they got rid of Jakar Jackson, who was with Lash. That was a tag team. They got rid of the Party Girls, who was an actual tag team. We ain't got nobody. And while we're talking about the tag team, what do you think is next for the Street Profits? You think they're gonna go back for the belts?
Backstage segments. That's it.
With Carmelo Hayes, because he obviously ain't getting no type of push right now.
You know, if the Street Profits weren't clowns, like if they, I hate to say that, but like if the Street Profits were more serious, and they weren't, you know, they didn't have this tendency to be goofy or whatever. I mean, I could see, no. Because Carmelo has like a different swag and he carries himself a lot different than the Street Profits. And then you got Montez and Carmelo. It's like Styles Clash. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, and then they done threw B-Fab back in there. So I like, it would never come across like Trick Mello Gang.
No.
So yeah, like they just need to hurry up and get Trick Williams on that main roster already.
I know.
This dude, he gonna stay in NXT forever.
Just like Wesley. Jesus Christ.
Wesley is NXT at this point. Gatekeeper.
This is the gatekeeper. While we're talking about NXT, you know, we have Josh Briggs. What's his partner? Oh, Yama. What's his partner name? Inamura. And also Obafemi for the NXT men's title or whatever. Josh Briggs pretty much just fought his way in it. Josh Briggs is boring. Okay? Even when he's trying to talk, I guess he's trying to be this heel that nobody cares about guy. It's like, can we finally get rid of him already? Like, no matter how many times they put him in different, like, angles, it's the same thing.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised he hasn't been released yet.
I'm saying, like, I thought he was gonna be released with the last wave.
I don't get it. Where's Ridge Holland, by the way?
He's still missing.
Like Ridge Holland had that whole angle with Chase U and everything, just completely dismantled the university.
And then he had a couple like matches, but then it was just pointless. Yeah, he's next to be gone. Still missing.
I thought he finally kind of found a little something for himself with that heel turn, like which everybody saw coming, like when he was with Chase University. I thought they had something there because to me he was finally starting to become a little interesting. It's like, okay, he finally found his lane, and then he's just missing. Josh Briggs, I think they've spent as much time with Josh Briggs as they can. And I think it's just time to just realize, okay, there's nothing there. Okay. So from there, you got a decision to make. And I hate to, I hate to pull for somebody being released or anything like that, because he's making a living. But at the same time, it's just like, bro, like, better people have been released. Yeah. How the hell are you still, like, how are you still there?
He is surviving.
That's crazy. But anyway.
And then on Tuesday, we're going to have the debut of Blake Moreau versus Rhea Ripley.
That actually should be a really good match.
Gonna be a great match.
That should be a good match.
I just wish Rhea Ripley got more of a TV time instead of being someone who pushed people who's being debuted.
She's just like enhancement talent.
Yeah.
Even though she's really good.
Very good.
She's good on the mic. She's good in the ring. She has a unique look. Them big ass with the big eyes. But yeah, big eyes, flat face, long chin. But there's something about Ren though where when she's on screen she can be entertaining. You know what I mean? So it's like you can do something with her. You can lean into how she looks weird. Like you can do something with Ren Sinclair. Plus, for whatever reason, when she joined, like when she kind of started being around No Quarter Catch crew, they actually became somewhat entertaining. Yeah, like I mean, it was just like, okay, well, she kind of fits with them. So kind of like Rizzo with the family,
which is no longer a group. So I mean, to me, that would wrap up like what happened with NXT this week. Rumors, potential storylines that we're looking forward to or possibly can happen. Now let's go to the next big one that's actually slowly stepping up their game. AEW. We crowned a new AEW men's champion, Hangman Adam Page. And where do we go from here with him now?
Well, first of all, AEW had a great weekend, a big weekend for them, going up against like everything WWE was throwing at them. Saturday night's main event, NXT Great American Bash, WWE Women's Evolution 2, which was a really good pay-per-view, but it still wasn't on the level of let me stop. AEW All In Texas, because that show was a banger, and I mean that was probably, I mean, that's up there with AEW's like greatest pay-per-view period. And to see AEW Dynamite this week, not a good follow-up.
Nope.
I mean, I get that it's, you have to like start somewhere as far as telling stories and kind of get the ball rolling in a new direction. You know what I mean? So it's like I didn't really expect a huge show for Dynamite, but I did expect an important show, like where, okay, this was the follow-up to your biggest show of the year, and potentially new fans could be watching that checked out All In Texas. So give them a reason to come back. Let them know that, yes, we have great pay-per-views, and also our weekly show. I don't want to say shows because Collision, they can skip that. But like, check out Dynamite. Stay a while, increase them ratings, the viewership, because they ended up with like 588,000 viewers for AEW Dynamite. Look, I don't normally care about the viewership numbers, because if I feel like a show is good and I enjoyed it, good enough for me. You know what I mean? I was entertained. But it's kind of sad, though, because like I said, they just had this huge pay-per-view. They pretty much won the weekend versus WWE, okay? They established their dominance this weekend. And fast forward to Dynamite, and then you get like kind of just like a letdown show. Man, It's just like, it was kind of disappointing because, you know, after seeing All In, you're like, man, not only did they restore the feeling, they knocked that shit out of the park. I mean, it was a show that culminated all these different storylines, because like they do have stories, okay. They just don't play out super fast like everybody's expecting them to. It's just kind of disappointing, like to see how good they did over the weekend, and then to put on a lackluster show. That's my thoughts on AEW this week.
Well, that pretty much sums up your thoughts.
Yo,
on AEW.
but I want to talk about WWE Evolution. Okay, that's the women's pay-per-view. That was their second one, and it was this past weekend. And I feel like it was a good start, possibly for a new direction for WWE, for the women's division. This pay-per-view, or PLE, proved that the women can hold their own. They can carry the entire show. They can be very entertaining. You know, like the show was good from top to bottom. You know, like what are your thoughts on Evolution? I got a little bit more to say, but I want to hear your thoughts on.
I mean, it was better than the first one. The highlight of the night obviously was the shocking of Naomi cashing in during the IYO and Rhea Ripley match. She well deserves it. She really put in a lot of work at her new character. Proceed with caution. For God's sake, we have fans literally going off the rails making caution outfits. Okay, so it's like, regardless, she's the heel that you need. She still got the fans behind her and everything. And this is a good little something different, something new, and something interesting. Because let's be honest, people is about tired of Rhea Ripley winning the belt. And IYO, her mic skill is terrible. And Naomi pretty much exposed that on Monday when she said, "Girl, I didn't understand a word you said." So, and to the point that even Rhea Ripley couldn't even get her words together. So, way better than the first one. Yes, there was a little goofiness, especially for the Battle Royal. We could have lived without that. But the women put on a great thing, and I would say I'm looking forward to the next Evolution, but I'm afraid that that's when they're going to jack it up this time. And you know, it's like when Triple H is hot, he doesn't know how to stay up there, and then he goes back down. So
the same thing you could say about wrestlers when they're booked.
Yeah.
Like when they're actually kind of catch fire and don't know how to maintain or expand. So yeah. As far as WWE Evolution, I feel like it's just like a great chance for legends of the past to appear. Trish Stratus, your Litas, you can go down the list, right? I think it's a good opportunity for them to make appearances. It's a good way for new women to debut, whether it's in like a battle royal or just like a surprise in general. Whether they like interfere in a match or whatever, right? It's you can do things with this pay-per-view PLE. I would love for it to be a reoccurring PLE. Like you could take out one of these other PLEs.
Saturday Night Main Event.
Exactly. You could take that junk out. Honestly, like it would have been nice for. I mean, you could have still did a NXT Great American Bash, but like it would have been nice for Evolution to have its own week or weekend. You know what I mean? So it really got the proper shine that it deserved, and obviously the proper build, because there was no build to that pay-per-view, so it had no business being that good. And it was better than anything that they put out, you know, in a long time. So there's that. The women obviously would get more TV time because of it, you know, because you'd have to dedicate actual builds to the pay-per-view. So I don't know. I see positives coming from a reoccurring Evolution pay-per-view, but the thing is, I don't think they're gonna do it. Like Triple H doesn't seem interested in it, you know. But the thing is, man, Triple H, step aside, let Shawn Michaels book that thing, and I guarantee you'll have something on your hands. That's great.
But moving back to AEW.
Hold on. One more thing. I have one more thing. WWE. Your PLEs are too damn close together. Okay. We just finished Saturday night's main event, Evolution, and then 2 weeks later we got SummerSlam.
It's exhausting.
What the? And then
like no
before that we had the Saudi pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Jesus, like there's no time to build any stories.
I feel like they're trying to rush, just so like I said, that goes back to what I was saying. When that too. And like, for example, we was complaining about how AEW was doing back-to-back, like stories wasn't being built. 3 weeks, that's fine with me. That's enough time to like make me be interested, glued to the seat, whatever. And now you have WWE's like kind of rushing things, like we gotta hurry up and make it John Cena versus CM Punk. Ain't nobody, we ain't gotta rush that. For what? We already know John Cena's gonna win, so why are we rushing it? Now we have John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. By the way, next week or 2 weeks from now at SummerSlam? That's going to be like a 1 week build, and then right after that, who are we going to have after this? So it's like John Cena versus Randy Orton again? Like, Jesus Christ. It's like, let's still build. And then guess what? Now we have Rhea Ripley and IYO Sky versus Naomi at SummerSlam. Oh my God. Rhea Ripley has another title shot. Are we surprised? No. So I'm already like drained.
Just over it.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
But what I'm not exhausted about is Toni Storm versus Athena. We don't know when it's going to happen, but I have a feeling that somehow Mercedes Moné is going to interfere. And maybe she won't. Who knows? I would like to see Athena and Mercedes Moné run it back. But do you feel like after All in Texas, where Mercedes Moné finally got her first loss, is she going to go downhill from here?
No. I feel like, for one, because you got Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné. That's like your yin and your yang for the women's division, right? So you got like these two superstars, megastars, whatever, right? Representing the women's division. So you got to keep both of them at the tip top, right? I don't mean like they both have to remain champs, but they both have to remain relevant. Like they have to be in storylines that help elevate other people. I know a lot of people were like, man, Mercedes didn't do anything for the women's division. You're an idiot. Yes, she did. First of all, she beat a lot of women, right? Okay, but that's also a lot of women that got TV time. They got decent match time, right? They showcased what they can do in the ring because like AEW's big on in-ring wrestling and whatever, right? So she gave them opportunities to show what they can do, whether it was like promos against her or, like I said, in-ring. She gave people a chances to shine, okay, as well as like whooping their ass. But, I mean, like you need somebody to push you to get better. And that's what Mercedes Moné was doing, right? You had Toni Storm doing like open challenges and whatever. So it was like a similar path in that way, but ultimately, Toni Storm won, and I think all it's gonna do is make Mercedes double down and be hungry for that championship, or at least kind of like try and reestablish some dominance in the women's division. I don't think she's gonna just start losing all her belts like everybody else thinks, because those promotions, they're getting a lot of attention with her carrying those titles. She's also appearing on those different promotions, wrestling and whatnot. So I don't know. I don't think she's losing right now, like to start dropping those titles. If she does, though, I also see it as an opportunity for them to free her up from all those titles so she can do a little bit more. She can start taking losses. And it doesn't have to be, okay, I lost my TBS title or whatever. It could just, like, I don't know. There's a lot you could do with Mercedes Moné. I'll just leave it at that.
And I feel like she will start losing her belts and then down the road possibly go back for the women's championship. And now that she is not that yes, she'll still be your CEO, but she'll be more focused, more driven, and more hungry for the women's AEW championship. I feel like then she will finally win the belt. I don't know if it's going to be from Toni or Athena or whoever down the road, but that I can see once she starts, getting a reality check. That's how I'm looking at it. But I mean, there's really not much. Now we have Swerve focusing on Okada at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that should be good.
It definitely will be. And this is a good thing for Swerve too. And this will also free up Hangman Adam Page to get a couple shine with the AEW World Championship. Because let's be honest, if you put Swerve with Hangman, people would be more focused on Swerve than Hangman at this point. So keeping those two separate right now will be good for Hangman more than Swerve.
Yeah. Plus, I think what Swerve is doing is to help bring a little prestige to the unified championship that Okada holds. I think it's just to establish that this is for main eventers or the top of the card to compete for. This ain't gonna be like where please, I hope not, like where Orange Cassidy and those alike try and compete for this title.
Ah, God.
Yeah, that's what you got the TNT title
exactly.
for. So hopefully they keep this amongst main eventers, upper card wrestlers. Like, yeah, don't have Trent Beretta out there challenging Okada. Okay, nobody wants to see that. Rocky Romero or none of them. Just keep them over there in the trios or whatever they doing. But just keep them away from the unified championship. Let that championship be important, just like the AEW World Championship, but obviously below it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And speaking of TNT Championship, for goodness sake, Kyle Fletcher needs to get that belt. I'm proud for Dustin Rose, but I need some more drama. I need some attitude. I need someone to spice things up, and Kyle Fletcher is the mother freaking man for that.
That needs to be like a work rate title, and I don't think Dustin's gonna be able to keep up with that. You know what I mean?
This is one
and like. It could be an important title again because it really hasn't been important since probably the last time Cody had it.
Yeah.
And I think Sammy Guevara beat Cody.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and look at Sammy now. Yeah, okay.
Ring of Honor.
Who's watching that?
Nobody.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, just like I think they have an opportunity to reset a few things for AEW and like I said, establish the unified championship as an important title. It's new. Re-establish the TNT title because, I mean, they had it on Adam Cole. Nobody cared. And they got it off of Adam Cole onto Dustin. Nobody still cares. I mean, let's just be honest. It was a good moment, everything for Dustin. But, I mean, Kyle Fletcher, it just makes sense. It just makes sense for him to have that title. So, yeah, keep that thing warm, Dustin, because you're not going to have it for long, buddy.
I mean, do you think he's going to probably take it from Dustin at All Out, though? Just like everyone else? Like Athena might wrestle Toni at All Out? Because Forbidden Door is like pretty much people who's like from different brands.
Why would Athena wrestle Toni at All Out when that clipboard you can cash in anytime?
You know how they do.
She don't have to actually have a straight up wrestling match with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
So
remember how
maybe-
Christian tried to cash in and make
Right.
it like a triple threat or whatever? I mean, that's the same thing.
So
like, it's
let's
literally just the
say-
money in the bank briefcase.
So let's say Toni wrestles somebody, she's just going to make a triple threat match.
I mean, I just see Athena striking when Tony's either beating up. Like, I mean, I think she said something about that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, like she
Well,
could
you
have
released
she
it.
could have did it at All In,
Yeah.
but she didn't, which I was like, man, that was the perfect opportunity, honestly.
That's probably why they pulled the trigger on Naomi.
Because you could have that could have been Mercedes' way out, but I like the fact that Tony beat Mercedes straight up so that it could just be a definitive win.
And that's it. Just keep it
So
moving from
I
there.
mean, that's for me. That's the only thing that stopped Athena from You can't say cashing in, but you know what I mean. Like for her to show up with the clipboard.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see what she's cashing in. Same with MJF, because MJF is a little sneaky slime.
Now, see MJF, I think he gonna be slick with his.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But I don't even want to. Like, I kind of really just want to see that play out. I don't even want to guess how he gonna do that. But with Athena, I mean, if it's a straight up match, I don't know. I just don't see that happening.
Well, we're just gonna have to wait and find out.
Because that's just too simple. Like, okay, I'm a cash in. I'll see you at All Out. Okay, like there's no surprise factor. No. Which she can do that because technically it's like once you get it, you could just call your shot. So I mean, she could go that route. It's not as exciting because there's no surprise. Naomi obviously did probably the second best cash in ever. I guess Seth still holds the title for the first, the best cash in, or is it Seth or Edge?
I don't even know.
I think Seth has the best cash in, and then right up there is Naomi. Yeah, that's all I got on Athena.
I feel like that will conclude our open mic night, though.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that's gonna have to do it for open mic night. If you're still here, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, show a little support, show some love, drop a comment, let us know what you think. Yeah, that'll do it.
Our goal for subscriber is 500. The next time we'll be dropping a video will be on Raw review, so stay tuned for our Monday Night Raw.